Welcome to the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. Each show is filled with news, reviews, interviews, and expert advice from the industry. All for you, the author. And now, here's our host, H.D. Campbell.
Hi, welcome to the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. As always, I'm your host, H.D. Campbell. We're now in Season 8. And in Season 8, we're going to bring you a lot more powerful authors, and it's going to be a much longer season. And also, we're airing the show weekly now. Every Friday from 7 p.m., 6 Central, we will be airing the show on that time slot on my brand new YouTube channel, HD Television. Now today, we've got three very powerful authors on a special 90-minute edition of the Author's Corner. First, we have author Renee A. She's a very powerful, naughty and nice author, and she's a client of H.D. Campbell Productions. Next, we're going to have a talk with author, activist, entrepreneur, Nicky. We're not only going to talk to her about her books, we're going to talk to her about the happenings that's been going on in this country. Finally, we're going to have a wonderful chat with Browder, who just published a new book today. And I can't even breathe with all this. So, without further ado, when we come back, we'll have author Renee A.
What happens when a man sentenced to be executed disappears from his cell hours before? Investigative reporter Mark Alexander must find the answers. Read H.D. Campbell's new masterpiece, Murder by Execution. In stores and at Amazon now.
Welcome back to the Author's Corner. My first interview is with author Renee A. She's a naughty and nice author who has a lot to say about life, about love, about being naughty and nice, and she's also a client of H.D. Campbell Productions. So, without further ado, here she is. You're not only just an author, you're a blogger, you write short stories, you do so much. I just need to ask, how do you keep all that together?
Well, the first thing I want to say is I appreciate you. That's the first thing I need to say, because what you're doing has been something that I've been trying to do for a very long time. Just did not know how to make the connection. What I want to say is that the only way that I can hold this together on all the different projects is because I'm determined to make sure that I can make sure that all my projects that I do can manifest. What I do is I work 40 hours a week, which I would like to be like a lot of others probably wish that they could just work on their craft. But just like a lot of the other owners, I have to go into it, and I work as a CDR technician for the U.S. Navy. And when I get off work, the time that I do have left, what I do is I make sure that when I get home, I do not get any procrastinating mode. I get up and I make sure that I come in my office, and at the end of the day, make sure that something is done that takes me to the next level. It's not easy, but it's doable, and committed to it.
Okay. And you seem to always keep it all together. I mean, even with what we do for you, you still always have time to come and ask, what can I be doing next? What do I need next? So you're always ready to do something.
Yes, I am. I'm in some of the various projects because you never know which one is the one that's going to get you where you're trying to go. I have a line of reading cards that I do. I do motivational speeches. I go to literary seminars. I go to a lot of networking events. I try to go where I know people that want to do or have a goal in mind as far as their career is concerned. Working 9 to 5 is fine for a lot of people, but I want to do something different. I want to do something that my hands created, my mind created, something that I can put my hands on and say, this came from me, and it's something I did because I love. And I make sure that when I come in, I do a lot of projects with different people, I'm into poetry, I love poetry, I love spoken word, I love different things like that. So a lot of times I will get with my son and he's a spoken word artist, and we will get together and we will do projects and different things like that. And he can go to his places that you go perform at. So there's so many things that I'm heading into relationships and different genres like that. So it's always something. When I come in this office, I never know what it is that I'm going to end up doing. It's just that when I come out, I try to make sure that I'm comfortable with what I put in and the effort I put into making my life go in the direction that I want it to go.
I just know that you always accuse me of being busy all the doggone time. But yet, from what you just told me, and what I can do, what I need to do, what should I be doing, you make me tired. But you accuse me of being busy all the time, and you're just as busy. And I didn't know writing was a family business. You didn't tell me you had to send me this spoken word, so you've been holding out.
Yeah, I'm a spoken word, and I'm also a reviewer, so I'm always reading some other authors' novels, so people, I wouldn't say downplay or anything like that, but writing is a very, very hard thing to do, because you got to keep this thing flowing and make sure that it sounds good to you, and make sure that you make it sound good to your fans, so, it's a lot of work. And a lot of times when I'm reviewing or something like that, if I come up with a book or something like that author is doing, have written, if I can't get into that book, what I will do is I will return that book because I know how hard it is to put a book together. So just because I don't get it, don't mean that it makes the reviewer to pick it up and I get it. So you always want to give everybody a fair shake because you want your fair shake as well.
Well, see, at least you're nice enough to say, well, hey, I'm handing this off. I didn't really get into it, but maybe you can get into it. So at least you're fair among that sense. So that's one thing I love about you. So that's pretty cool. I'm not stopping the interview, and I'm put this on the show too. It's finally good to talk to you face to face. The first time we ever got a chance to talk face to face, and I'm really enjoying the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I've known you for a long time. You make me very comfortable with what I'm doing, and you make me feel like there's a chance. Because, a lot of times when you get into this business, there's a lot of doors that will not open for you. There are a lot of people that will not talk to you. I don't know if it's because a lot of times because they're into their projects and their hands are just as full as they can be and they just don't have time. But you never make me feel that way. You always make me feel like no matter what I ask you, you're always there to answer that question or to be there to listen to me. So that means a whole lot to an author because a lot of times we are just out there in the wilderness. We don't know what we're doing, where we're going, who to contact because there's so many doors that will not open for you. The only time doors generally open to people, in most instances, is because you have a connection. Without connection,
right.
You don't feel out there in the wilderness.
Well, the problem with that is, how can I put this? We are in such a quote-unquote supposed competitive market, which we're really not even being competitive because we all write different stuff. I don't care what genre you have, what idea you have, we all write different things. So I guess my next question to you is, how do you feel about the supposed competition that's supposed to be out there?
The way I feel is about, you talked about the way the world receives you as a writer.
Yes. Yes.
Well, the way I look at it is, I've been writing for maybe like 20, 25 years. I've been writing for a very, very long time. And I've submitted hundreds and hundreds of articles and short stories and just all kinds of material. The problem that I can see that I kept running into and still run into, is the doors are closed. I don't know how you get in the tweets and niche. I don't know how you get in there. But, it's not easy. That's why, I hate to keep just sounding like I'm singing your praises. But when I talked to you for the first time on the internet, I was so skeptical. It was like, okay, well, why is he so open on it? What's going on with it? Why is he so open on it? Because everybody was acting like they're like he was going to take their dollars from them, over them getting out there with their sales or who they are, different things like that. So to me, it's a business that wow, you better know what you're doing when you get anything. I mean, that's the only way to find it out. Because people are not as receptive, as you would like them to be. So, a lot of hurt feelings, and, you get through it. And sometimes it makes you stronger, which it is for me, because I knew that I was something that I would never put on the shelf. I knew it was always something that I would always keep pursuing. So I guess what I'm saying, contrary to the doors that slammed, I was fortunate enough to run across you that opened the door, and when you opened the door, like I was so skeptical, like, wow, what are you opening that door for? You're not supposed to open that door. I'm supposed to get on the door big and not get kicked on your door. You're supposed to play like you're not at home. So that's what my experience as a writer has been.
Well, I tell people this all the time and then I'll move on. I tell people that there's enough room at the top for everyone. You just have to help each other where we can. And that's real talk.
I think that people say that, and like I know when you were talking about, people say, you can be what you want to be, you can do this, you can do that. It's easy, HD, to tell people that they can be what they want to be, they can do this, they can do that. They never tell you about there are people that once they get their little bit, they go in the corner, and they don't want you looking at what they have in that corner. So I'm real skeptical about telling people nowadays. Maybe back then when I didn't know that you can be what you want to be, which is just really, in my mind, not absolute. You can make a splash before you get there, but you got to be one of those that can get in there and tough it out. Because if you can't get in there and tough it out, you will get lost in the past.
Oh no, you really actually do need to be. You really need some very tough skin to walk into this market. So yes, you do most definitely. But I got tough skin, and I'm giving you tough skin, so that's one thing you do not have to worry about. So now I want to go back. I want to go way back for a second. What actually started you on your writing journey? What made you decide you wanted to be a writer?
What got me started on writing is because at a very young age, I'll tell you this, it's funny to me now, but it wasn't funny back then, because when I was growing up, we was like so poor, just so poor, that when we moved from a little town down about Odessa, Texas, and moved up here to the Dallas area, I believed when I came up here that if you live in projects, it's like, wow, you're rich. I didn't know that was meant for the poor people, so for so long I thought we just still be thinking rich. Till I finally grew up and went to school and learned that you were kind of like the bottom of the totem pole. So what I did is a lot of things that I felt and a lot of nights that I didn't feel, like so rich, as I say. There were nights that your real world said, man, some kids get it earlier than others. I always understood that if I didn't do something, I couldn't draw, or put a lot of African Americans going back then, drew. There were different things that you did, and I just didn't fit into that. So what I did is I just started writing how I felt. So writing is kind of like an addiction. The more you write, the more you want to write. The more you write, the better you get at it at times, what your genre is. So what I did when I was growing up, my mom went and bought a typewriter for me, because she knew that I had many tablets around and I had to write. And she would tell me I knew she didn't have it, So I guess it made me appreciate it more. So what she wanted me to do was just write her like short stories. She was about with old school magazines, like I think a True Little Man, Gossip magazine. And she would want me to write her stories to see, if it would catch her attention. So the more she enjoyed it, the more I started loving writing. So what I did is I decided that it was something that I was born to, it was something that I knew that I wanted to do. And you have to understand, when I was coming up, there were times when your mom had a lot of kids, you had to come out of school and you had to go help with work and different stuff like that. So back then I was working at a lodge and different things like that. I think it was a young lodge, something like that, 16 years old and stuff like that. So I knew even when I was around stuff that I didn't want to do, it was kind of like my sanctuary was to go and to get on that typewriter to write. So the more I did it, the more I enjoyed it, and that's what I still pursue today because it's my comfort zone. It gives me peace. And a lot of times that's what made me start my reading part of life because I wanted to personalize people's pain. You know, like if I did a reading part, you know, say your wife's name is Daisy, y'all put on there Daisy, I feel this day, if you're there. I wanted to personalize how people felt about, you know, people in their life and stuff like that. So that's what took me on my journey. I just started out in pain and just I'm trying to turn it into something way bigger than that now. I want to give everybody something in my life. So I'm not like writing one genre. I write motivational pieces. I write love letters. I write poetry chapters. I write naughty chapters. I mean, just, you know, I'm just into everything. And the more I write, the more I love it, the more I want to do more and more.
So, you know, first I need to tell you something. I already got on one of my authors yesterday about this. I'm jumping on you now. I need you to stop giving out points of my life. And what I mean by that is, so in other words, I got a typewriter too. That was my first instrument after writing in so many tablets. See, now you guys are stealing from my life and trying to make it your lives. Quit doing that. Stop it.
Starting from an old little manual typewriter. I really did, and I just took everything.
Yeah, I love that. Did you graduated from typewriter to other things? Like I said, I love that. I love that. I also love the fact that you wrote, you know, where writing is your comfort zone. And it's, like I say, that's one thing that makes you fall in love with writing. It is your comfort, and it definitely does give you peace.
It does. It really does.
So my next question is, at what point did you decide on writing as a career?
Well, you know, actually, it's not a career because to me, a career to me means I can put that job up that I do, and I can just saturate my mind into what I really want to do. I would love for writing to be my career. That's my goal to make writing my career, and that's one reason why I'm glad that I ran across you is because I needed guidance to get you to the point where, okay, at last this is my career. But at first, you know, you must understand, I was just kind of like running around in circles, and I lost a lot of years that I should have been way down the line as far as my writing stuff. But what I've also understood, and I guess I can't get it out of my mind, is that when you're writing, and people, they'll tell you how good you are, they'll tell you you're bad as well. But what I learned is that, especially in my community, you know, people that I'm around, I cannot put everybody in a whole little box. I learned that people, they know what you do, they know you're good at what you do, or something like that. So what they do a lot of times, you have to do an exchange. You know, that's why I don't know about it being a career because people will come to you and they want your product for nothing. You know,
right.
They do. They want your product for absolutely nothing. Or they have like somebody that they can't deal with or some other kind of thing going on in their life. They want you to write them out of that. You know, you spend the time writing them out of that, and they bargain with you with what you do for them instead of them appreciating that you're an author, you're proud of what you do. Just not because you work something that you're not as good as the other authors. It just means that you have your ship got came in here where you can get your you know, dedicate your life to what you like doing. But that's, I guess that's one of the things that kind of bothers me is that I don't like how I have to exchange my talent for somebody to even recognize me as a writer to do something that they need done. So it's kind of like I'm pilfering. You know, it's like like a pilfering. It's like I'm taking this from you because, you know, I got books from you, you know, something like that. It's hard to explain, and I don't want to make it sound like, woe is me, because that's not how I feel. But I want other authors, and I know that they go through the same thing. It's almost like you have to give away what you have in order for people to recognize what you do. You know, so it's kind of like a respect factor, I guess. You know, it's like you don't respect that person's craft or what they do, but you want what you know they know how to do if it's going to serve you in some sort of way. So I can write what somebody wants. So when I write my book and I go and say, okay, here's what I have now, then it's kind of like, you know, okay, I'm going to get this from you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. When you know that that's the end of it, they got what they want, and that's the end of that. So I know a lot of writers that do that, you know, and I tell a lot of them when they come to me and say, but you go to Barnes and Noble and tell them that you're going to give them $5 or $20 book. You can't do it.
No.
So why would you go to the middleman and tell him I'll give you $5, $10, you know? So I hate to go in that direction, but I know there's a lot of writers that go through that.
Can I be totally honest with you? I was gonna make a joke about it, but at the end of the day, it's not funny. A lot of times it happens with us as African American authors, because if you think about it, you wouldn't go to a James Patterson, or you wouldn't go to one of the other white best-selling authors and tell them to do that. No, you're gonna pay full price for that stuff all the time. And this is what we're not saying. It's like, no, you can hook me up. No, I can't hook you up. I got bills to pay. I need to eat too. I cannot do hookups. And if I'm trying to be right, and if I'm trying to be a success, you're trying to be a success.
I don't know where it came from. You know, I think it just came from the word when they say the hookup. You know, I think that's where it came from. Because there is no way that I can give you my book. And I'm working every day like you do. You know, it's like, I'm on the job just like you are. How can I possibly find time to write and then turn around and give my finals away? You know, but that's what me and I know it's a lot of other authors go through.
Right. And $5 on the $20 book isn't going to do it. You got to give me my full 20. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I truly understand. I want to go in, actually speaking of your books, I want to go into Dysfunctional Beginnings and Bad Intentions Are Deliberate. Can you give me a summary of each book?
Yes. Dysfunctional Beginnings, when I wrote Dysfunctional Beginnings, I think that, you know how you sit around with your girlfriends and different things like that when you're talking, and a lot of times you see where you say, somebody might say, I don't know why she put up with this or she put up with that, you know, because, you know, she just don't have a concept of things, blah, blah, blah. A lot of times people do not know where you be. They don't know where you be, and they don't know you're entertaining, they, you know, because everybody can paint on a smile. So when I got ready to write Dysfunctional Beginnings, it was kind of like to show people that sometimes you're a damaged product before you're ever even born, because other people are making mistakes that's going to affect you when you get old, when you come here. So Taylor, which is one of the main characters in Dysfunctional Beginnings, is a victim of that very same circumstance. She's born, and before she didn't born, she paid because of the way she, you know, because of who her mother was. I'll put it like that. And what she did is she was raised by this aunt that hated her guts. So a lot of times when you're with somebody and you're not receiving love and you can't give them love, what you do is you are put in a dysfunctional relationship because you can't possibly fully love because you've never known that emotion. You know, so what happens with her is she goes through her life, to sum it up, going from relationship to relationship to relationship with the man that she picked out to be just as dysfunctional as she is. So in the end, she has to contemplate because you have to get into the story. And it's a fast-paced story, and it's a very good story with a good storyline. You have to find out what is it that went on so bad in her life that at the end she contemplates whether dysfunction beginning should be her ending. So that's what's going on with Dysfunctional Beginnings. Bad Intentions Are Deliberate. If you think about it, you think about that title. When somebody's getting ready to do something, if I'm upset with you, HD, and I'm harboring bad feelings, by the time I get to you to do something to you, I've already thought out what I'm going to do to you. The bad intentions are already there. So bad intentions are deliberate is a story in this particular time, beauty and how far beauty can take you know. So what these people that in this particular story are faced with is, why didn't my beauty take me further than it did? Why did my beauty protect me from rape, from all kinds of harm, all kinds of dysfunctional episodes in my life? Why didn't this beauty protect me? And that's when you find out why bad intentions are deliberate. You get to see that just because you have that don't mean that everybody appreciates what you have. So that's what's going on with bad intentions are deliberate. Both very good stories, not because I wrote them, but because even when I read them, and I read maybe twice, maybe both of them twice, and each time they fulfilled me. I didn't leave the book saying, wow, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why did that happen? Everything that you thought should be covered in a book like that, you got every bit of that and then some. Because when I write, I make sure that not only do I want to be able to go tell somebody that this is a good book, I want my fans to be able to say, you have got to read this author's work right here. You have got to read it. It's really, really entertaining. So both of the books, I think that if the fans get the chance, I think that they will really, really, really get off into these books. They're really, really.
Well, they sound like mini movies. They could be movies. Have you ever thought about that?
Yes, I have. I really have. And the point that you're making with that, and I'm glad you said that. But I just, when I read these books, and even the people that read the books, even the ones that, find the books and pay the money to get the books, they come back and say, when are you going to write another book? When are you going to have another book coming out? So if people can understand with authors that you can get a lot of books, that they write, they keep writing, but it's not free. You got to help them get that other book together. I have another book coming out called Lies and Dollars. And
what's the name of it? What's the name of it? What's the name of it again?
It's something called Lies and Dollars.
Oh, go ahead.
For people will go someplace. Yes, I'm in the process of now. Matter of fact, I'm in my second chapter.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
It's just how far people will go, it's like there's no boundaries anymore. It's all about flesh now. It's all about flesh and how can I get it? What will I say to get it? What will I do to get it? Who will I hurt to get it? Who's out there that put them in front of me that know that I'm not going to leave alone until I get it? It's deception, and it's just the ugly side of romance.
See, I'm loving this. I'm definitely loving this. So when do you think it'll be done?
I'm looking at maybe like a month, because I'm really into it. It's kind of like, and I know what you're being a writer. There's times when you're writing, you just can't stop.
Right.
Like, hey, I got to get this out of my head. I've had a thing where when I would be in the bed or something like that, I was thinking about something like, I got to get there, open that computer back up. This is what's going on there. I need to put that down before I get in. The words, it just draws you in, And I know you know that as an author.
Oh, yeah.
That, sometimes when you're in a story, that story is in you.
You can't get rid of it until it's done. That's about it. That's all it is. Basically, I want to talk about your website, Darling Nice Novels. I want to know what influenced that website, and how does it tie in with what you write?
Well, what influenced my website is that, I like to write romance, like romance and relationships and just couples in general. So what prompted me to choose that particular website, couples, was that when people get ready to go to my website, I want them to always associate it with sensuality, closeness, relationships, and as well as to know that if they're not in those kind of books that I write, then they can just easily go to something that I might have on my Kindle short stories or something like that. So, in other words, it's just a comfortable website that anybody that goes on can enjoy. So that's what prompted that particular website.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you a question. What's naughty and what's nice?
What's next?
No, what's naughty and what's nice?
Naughty is edgy. You know, it's edgy and, you know, it's just not very many lines you want to cross from an intimate perspective. Nice is if you just want to just a feel good book, just how you say, drink a warm glass of milk and go to bed, you know, something like that. Naughty to me is when you read the naughty book, it's like you might be on bed but you won't need that warm milk. So that's the little bit I can tell you the difference there.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about your blog.
Well, you know what, I started several blogs, but I have not been pleased with the ones that I have so far. So what I'm getting ready to do now is I'm trying to take it to another level. What I'm trying to get to now is I'm not understanding, well, I shouldn't say I'm not understanding, but I'm more curious about what's making people cheat so much. So my blog is going to be on the dynamics of what's making people cheat, because it seems like it's just going to be kind of like it's regular drinking a glass of water now. You know, there's no remorse actually, and you know, you get caught, you're caught. You know, so I'm more interested in a blog for somebody to just really, you know, specify what is making people so laid back and think that it's okay to do that. So I just want to know, you know, and I want people to, you know, tune in and, you know, let me know from their perspective what they've gone through, or somebody they know, or what they even think is causing this situation to be just so blatant now. You know, it used to be a time, I believe, when people cheated, you know, you did everything you could. You got that go up under the ground with the person that you're cheating with. But now it's kind of like, you know, it just seems like the connection with a male-female is not as bonded as it used to be. And I really want to know, when did it start? Why did it start? Why did it get so in your face now? You know, because it seems like in my mind, people aren't afraid to lose you. Like people used to think like they used to be afraid to lose each other, you know, a long time, not that long ago. But now it's like in your face, you know, like this is what I'm doing. If you're with me, this is what I'm doing. So that's what my new blog is something about.
You know, and that's pretty sad. I mean, and that's pretty sad. But I am glad that you are putting the truth out there about it. My next question is, well, how can we access your blog? Or how will we be able to access your blog?
What'd you say?
How will we be able to access your blog?
I just want somebody maybe like 21 up, you know, because I'm sure it's going to be some detailed stuff that, you know, that I don't want on my conscience that some underage person experience. You know what I mean? So when I'm doing my blog, I want it specifically to be for like 21 plus, you know, because, you know, like I say, I just don't understand what's going on, and if we got that much disconnect, you know, a man and woman got that much disconnect, I want to know why the disconnect and why they don't stay single instead of, you know, entering into relationships and marriage and, you know, stuff like that. I want to know. It's just me. I just want to know why. And I know that there are other people out there, you know, because women especially are interested in what's going on in their relationship.
See, well, like I say, I'm one of them because, again, that's part of what I write in my romances about cheating and the aftermath of that. So believe me, I'm with you on that too. You definitely got a subscriber in me, so that is not a problem. And in fact, we're going to help you get your blog together, so you know that's not a problem too. So we're going to help promote that one as well. Now, tell me about your greeting cards.
A greeting card. It's actually not like a massive collection or anything like that. It's something that I'm trying to grow. And just, quite frankly, it's just like at a few places, like a few flower shops and different places like that. I just keep them supplied instead of me just, you know, ordering them in. It's kind of like, almost kind of like they're doing me a favor and doing them a favor. You know, so it has not, you know, resources keep you from doing quite a bit of anything. And if you try to do it in somebody like Hallmark or something like that, you know, you better have some money in your pocket. You know, so you're going to always be a mom and pop greeting card person, you know. So until you can get, how to say, until your ship comes in, you know. But basically, that's what I do. I supply a couple of flower shops and different places like that, personal cards and different genres of cards and different, you know, holidays and stuff like that. But, you know, that's the level that's on now. Of course, do I want it to grow? I want it to be massive. But it just takes time and it takes resources. And I'm trying to be patient with just that alone.
Okay. Now, when you're not writing, when you're not being a literary giant, when you're not trying to conquer the world with your words, what do you like to do for fun? What do you like to do?
My favorite pastime is making homemade quilts. I love hand-stitched quilts. I love that something I love to do. I don't want to go to a sewing machine. I don't want a sewing machine that's near my quilt. I want to do every stitch, every design, everything on my hand. You know, down to going to the fabric store, the radius that it takes to do it. You know, I really like quilting, and when I finish doing a quilt, I like to volunteer and give those quilts to, you know, like hospitals or, you know, like the Ronald McDonald House, something like that, for people that stay in a long, extended period with their kids that's really sick. So what I do is I make the quilts and I donate the quilts.
Okay. Very good. So anything else you like to do?
And I love volunteer. That's another thing. I love to volunteer. I guess I'll say my favorite volunteer program is called Feed Starving Children. I used to always look at TV and see these kids eating kind of like this little manish looking stuff. And I was fortunate enough to go a couple of months, say about 5 months ago, where I went and got a chance to see how that process left from here to end up in their hands for them to get a chance to eat it. It was amazing. I did not know. There's so many things we don't know. If we just knew so many things, we would be volunteering 24/7. It's just so much to do. I like the Special Olympics. That's something I like to volunteer with. But it's so different. It's so much out there for us to do. So for us to walk around and just acting like we all into all kinds of other derogatory stuff. There's so many positive things that we could do. And I'm not trying to sound like a saint because I'm far from it. But I'm a saint that loves to volunteer. I'm not a saint, but I love to volunteer.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll call you a saint. You may not call yourself one, but I'll call you one. So, I mean, you do so much, and like I say, you always sing my praises, but you need to be appreciated too sometimes.
Well, there's a lot of people. I have a lot of people that appreciate me, but I don't necessarily do what I do to be like appreciated or anything like that. I do it because it feels good to me. I sleep better at night. I feel better through the day when everybody else is whining and crying about different stuff. I feel better because I know that I've given of me. So it don't make me any better than anybody else. It just I just understand that when you do something for somebody, then you get it back. So that's where I am with that. And plus, some of the quilts, I'm going to have to send you some pictures of the quilts. They're beautiful.
Please definitely send us. Actually, I'll put them on the website. So, are you naughty or are you nice? Which one are you?
I'm nice, and I'm a little bit of both. I'm a combination, I'm a mixture.
Well, define yourself as naughty, define yourself as nice.
Let's see. Naughty is, somebody basically kind of turn because it's like, naughty is nice sometimes. So it's kind of like it's not a contrast actually. It's almost like a blend, To be naughty don't mean you have to give up nice. To be nice, you have to give up naughty. So I guess I'll say I'm a blend.
Okay. Now that we got to get to know you, we got to get to know the naughty, we got to get to know the nice, and we know that you're married, so we're not gonna go there. But you do have fans. You do know that. You got plenty of fans. And as an agent who's actually working with you, I see that you have a lot of fans who are receiving you now. I got bookstores that want to do orders now. And there's like so much going on with you now in the book clubs of getting a buzz out of that. How does that feel to know that people are actually about to read your work, they're getting to know you, things like that? How does that feel?
It's really exhilarating feeling. And it's kind of like you don't know what to do with it because you've been on the other end so long. It's kind of like it's real, but it's not real to you. It's like you know what you do as far as your work is concerned, but it's like so used to be on that other end, so now it'd be a pleasure to see how the other end is. You know, it's like, okay, I know what this world feels like, but what about the world over there? So I'm really happy. I'm really happy about everything that you've done. And I know that you have other clients, and I know that they're going to be appreciative of you, because if you've given half to them of what you've given to me, then they just really can work with that agent, you know. So I'm really happy all the time. No apprehensive, because I'm not used to getting out and, you know, like going different places and being expected and, you know, stuff like that. Because it has been the other way around. Like in the office, it's been the other way around, where you just put the book out there, tell people that you gotta go on Facebook, you know, Twitter, stuff like that. But this is a different road, and I'm ready to travel it. It's well overdue, and I want to make the best of it, and I want to just push my
How can I get in touch with you if I want to get to know the Naughty and Nice author? Who's married, by the way? Just want to keep telling you she's married, so just buy her books. Go ahead.
I can be reached at my email, because I love getting email. I love tapping back and forth with people on email. My email is Dorikia@hotmail.com, and I can be reached on Facebook, and Twitter, and Instagram.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Now here's why I also give you the final word on this. This is why I give you the chance to give any advice to any authors out there, any up and coming writers, or just writing advice in general.
Oh God, yes. The first thing I would do is tell them, before you ever do a sentence, get in there and research what it all entails. It's real good. It's writing. It's sometimes it's therapy. But if you're intending to make it more than therapy, you need to put your ducks in a row. I had to learn that there's, like I said earlier, there's so many doors slammed on me that now the one's open, I don't know what to do with it. So what I would do is I would definitely find out about the monetary part of it. I would find out, because even if you go through self-publishing, as I did, then to me, self-publishing is okay if that's the route you want to go, but I wouldn't go self-publishing anymore. Because what you need is somebody who can let your novel go. You need somebody that can take that novel and help you move that novel around. If you do self-publishing, all they do is sit back and wait on you to call in for orders. So most people say they like self-publishing. I mean, if it works for you, that's good. But that's just not a route that I would take anymore. I definitely would be looking for a publisher, because I feel like I have a better chance of moving that book around. Next thing I would do is if I was a new author coming on the site, I would not think that just because I go to a bunch of network events, sometimes you can go too much. I went so much that I was just suffocating. Sometimes it's a waste of time. You gotta know how to utilize your time. That's a major thing right there. You can't be everywhere, because what you're doing is you're just putting yourself out there, but nobody's really catching on to what you're trying to do. You know, people are cordial when you meet them, but you got to also realize they have to try and push their product too. Otherwise, they would not be at the networking event either. Try to find somebody that you can trust. Find somebody that understands your pain, and just make sure that I just can't emphasize enough. Make sure that you know what you're getting into, because you might be just a person with some books now. So that's my advice. Do your homework.
See, I told you, she has a lot to say. And she's going to have a lot more to say on my news show, the Real News Show, coming up right after the Office Corner. She's going to talk about the happenings in Dallas last week, which she is very vocal about, and she is very passionate about. So stay tuned for that. Speaking of which, next, we're going to have a very, very revealing talk with author, activist, entrepreneur, Nicky.
Welcome to Slim Goodies, where a couple's greatest fantasies are met with a little bit of imagination. Are you a couple looking for that spark to reignite the fire in your relationship? Or maybe you just want to tickle his or her fancy after work. We have videos, toys, books, and much more. With reasonable prices and associates ready to help, this is your one-stop shop for that special night. 6618 West Flores Ave. And we're open Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. Release your inner passion at Slim Goody.
Hey, my name is Slim. Come on down to Slim Goody.
Welcome back to the Author's Corner. My next interview with author, Browder, entrepreneur, activist, Nicky. We had a wonderful chat about her book that's coming out in October, what she does, who she is, and she was also talking about the protest last week, which you'll also see on my Real News show coming up after the Author's Corner. But until then, here's the interview, part 1 with Nicky. I want to start off by asking, you do so much, and you wear so many hats. Explain to me all the hats that you wear.
Wow, I get that question a lot. I am a former real estate agent here in Georgia, which is the reason why I relocated here. I had a goal to be the top African-American woman in the United States. I had a really, really big goal upon moving here. So I did go up the ladder fairly quickly. I hit the top 75 Billboard for real estate agents in the state of Georgia. From there, I've always done, I guess you would call community-based projects. I did not stay in one specific arena. It was wherever I seen that there was a void at. So if there were some people or a certain area seemed like they needed food, or if there were some shelters that was in need of some things, I always made myself available to them to be that strong resource in a community. And then from there, it just opened up to so many different things. Sex industry, cancer, HIV, all type of stuff, race centers. So it opened up to a lot of different things because for me, it was about filling the void. It wasn't about a certain demographic, certain category of people that I wanted to help. I figured that my gifts are for everybody. So in saying that, the door is wide open to make a difference and to be that difference. You know, I feel like that change that I seek is me. So I continue to daily discover myself, and then I give my gifts to the world. Another hat that I do wear is I do have a music side to me dealing with artist development and management. I have been doing that probably for the last 6 years. And then I have I am an author. Just about to, I'm so excited about to release my first book in October, so I'm very, very excited about that. And before I even touch on the book, I actually created an affirmation called Feel Beautiful, which pretty much said to the book. So again, I'm excited about that. And then I'm also a inspirational speaker. That's the biggest gift. The biggest gift that I have is my voice, and that's a very, very precious gift because to be able to touch lives with your voice, I can't even put a price tag on it. I just feel like, God gave me something that is extremely, extremely powerful, and I want to do, I want to use my gift, not, every day, every hour. I just want to be able to use my gift to the best of my ability.
Well, that you do every day. I mean, like I say, when I researched you and we started talking and I looked on your Facebook page and other pages, saw what you did, I'm more than impressed. So, I really don't know what to say. You give somebody compliments, but the word to describe it, I can't find the word to describe it, and I'm an author myself, and that's hard.
Wow. Yes. Well, we definitely got to be like to one another. It's not an I think, it's a we think. And, and exactly what's going on in the world currently, it's definitely about unity. It should always be about unity. But Yes, sometimes we need to wake up call, sometimes we need reminders. Sometimes, unfortunately, these tragic events automatically create unity where there was no unity before.
Okay. Well, I want to go back for a second and want to ask. First, let's start with your book. Tell me a little bit about. Tell me a little bit about your works.
To tell you about my book.
Yes.
Okay. My book is Still Beautiful. It is in the form of a two-way journal. A young female real estate agent on her way up the financial ladder, which is me. I pretty much bear it all in this book. And I have a pen named Nicky Purple, because for me, purple is my life, not just the color or a pretty frank. It's a life. So my pen name is Nicky Purple. And Nicky Purple shares her journey of healing through this collection of poetry, rants, short stories, and notes. That's pretty much what the book is about. It is a non-traditional recovery book, and I hope that by me, again, bearing it all, that inspires other people to uncover. Because in order to recover, you definitely have to uncover. And to me, that's kind of like the greatest ingredient that we might be lacking, is the uncovering in order to recover.
Okay. Now, what inspired you to write the book?
Actually, to be honest with you, life inspired me to write the book. I guess I would say the God in me. I realized at a very young age I made in the image of God, and that to me really kind of set the stage in knowing how powerful we are, but also at the same time deal with life. And life is real. Life is like a roller coaster. We're not going to get on a roller coaster and then, bring the thing down and put the seatbelt on, because we know we're going to fall out. So what inspired me to write this book is to kind of be that seatbelt when you're on your roller coaster ride. To say, I've been there. To remind people that in everything, you're going to have circumstances, you're going to have situations, you're going to have hardships, you're going to have days in your life where you're going to lack something. And it does hurt. It is uncomfortable sometimes. But I want people to know these are just moments. Okay? And I want to stress on moments, because when you look at things, you look at it like a hardship and circumstance, it seems like it's going to last forever. But these are just moments in one of your chapters. And in that moment, you pause. And pause means a lot of things. It needs to be still. It needs to be quiet. It needs to be set apart. Either God sets you apart, or something, people believe in different things, the universe, something sets you apart. And it allows you to be around a lot of quietness. And in that quietness, you can see the blessing. You can see the merit. But only, again, when you pause.
My next question. So number one, where can I get your book? That's one thing I was looking for. How can I buy your book?
Okay, actually, it just got sent to the publisher. It will be available in October. I am doing some rebranding, to be very transparent with you. I have branded so many people, celebrities, just different platforms. I've always been like a brand ambassador, branding people. So I'm bringing all those different talents, skills, and abilities together to pretty much put me on the stage. And very, very shortly, I'm going to be coming out with some information where people can actually start pre-ordering the book.
Okay. Now, going back some more. You, like I say, you wear so many hats, but you're also so aware of what's going on in the world. And you just pounce on that. But before we even get to all that, what got you started on the journey period? How did you get inspired for this whole journey?
Okay, as far as when you say the journey, you mean as far as doing the community work and the community activism?
Even before that, what started your path to say, hey, I'm bigger than who I am. Let's do something.
I've always been a big dreamer since I was a kid. For me, nothing that I ever wanted to do was small. I don't even know how to think small. I tried it, and that's about the only thing that I don't know how to do. As long as that one thing that somebody don't know how to do. For me, I don't know how to dream small. Since I was a kid, I always been a big dreamer. I always knew that I came into the world, and I came here for a reason, and nothing on the outside that I see or go through changes my purpose. And I've been like that since I was very, very young. I'm talking about in high school, I remember being in high school, and I remember, and I didn't go about it the right way, but I can give you a quick example. Like, I remember taking money out of my mother's father's savings to get some of my friends to the shoot. I had a mother and a father in the home, and a lot of my friends had different single moms as far as the home itself. So I was so compassionate from a child that whatever I had, that I believed that people should at least have what I have or more. And I've been like that since I was a kid. So, that's kind of, for me, I look at it like that, I'm here, and I'm here to help others. And I know, too, my thinking is definitely different. I'm sorry. My thinking is different, and I guess to give the credit to why is my thinking so different, and how did you start off thinking like that at such a young age? I would just say, I don't know. I get that question sometimes. I don't know how to quite answer it.
Well, how about what got you started in wanting to be an author to start off with?
The author, what got me started to be the author is basically, I knew that when I said things, I knew people listened to me. I knew I had a huge gift for humor. I feel like I can make water laugh, and water can't laugh. But I also know laughter is so healing. You can look at Tyler Perry's phenomenal example. But people listen to me. People trust me. I realized I can go into any environment and literally change the environment. So after noticing these things about myself and really going within, why is it, that I touch so many people, how do they view me? It really, when I see who I was, or when I really, really listened to the compliments that I got, it made me dig further in the inside to say, okay, you're able to do this for, something for a greater purpose. I am able, to make someone smile, again, for a greater purpose. So I started literally evaluating and writing down one by one all these different abilities, compliments, and how people view me, and just put it, went within, put everything together, and then from there, it birthed out this author. And it actually, when I see the things I went through in life, because my life has definitely been very hard, sometimes very hard. I went through things that people they wouldn't know that I went through. I don't smell like, I don't know, that quote thing, I think it's something about things rising from the ashes. Like,
yes.
Rose from the ashes so many times that it began to be like the norm, and I had to look at it like, wait a minute, I'm a liberator, and I also realized I'm going through these things, but I even went further than that to say, I'm not going through these things for myself, that have me too radical. I'm going through these things to show people that they can survive, and if you want to survive, you can actually thrive. So I realized that I am a liberator, and through my life and through what I've been through, I definitely help free people, which pretty much got me to the conclusion to say, time for me to write a book, time for me to stop doing everything, and really share on a grand scale my life and let my life be a message to others.
Okay. Now, I want to go into you as a person, going into you as the activist. What started you to start becoming aware of your community?
Okay, well, I'm from the hood. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I've seen
wait a minute, before you continue. Good job. I'm a big LeBron James fan, so Cleveland did it. Okay, I'm back.
Yes.
So yeah.
So what inspired me to, I guess the question is, what inspired me to have a concern for the community? I'm from the hood, a normal girl from the hood who I've always been a learner of life. I'm definitely an observer. I definitely, as a child, I felt other people's pain. Many times when I see, as a child, I would see women at the bus stop with a bunch of kids. Even though I was a child, I wished I had a car to take them to where they needed to go. So I've always been able to feel other people's pain. And I'm not saying pain as a shoot anyone down, but being able to feel what they're going through or feel their struggle. So that caused me to not only just give someone $1 because they're hungry, but really go further than that and be part of the community in a way of creating solutions, in a way of being the answer. Sometimes we are literally the answer to someone's blessing. So that's what pretty much inspired me to go to the community because of things I've seen as a child.
Okay. Well, one of the biggest problems I have, and I'm happy I'm not talking to one of them, you're someone who will actually go into the community and actually do things. You'll go to rallies, you'll organize things, you're not sitting behind a keyboard or a television screen or on the street just saying, well, if I had this, I would have da-da-da, or just, you're actually doing something about it. What do you say for those who are actually want to do something, but again, they're behind a TV screen or behind a computer screen?
What I would say, to be honest with you, be straightforward, we didn't get a lot of bashing because of what we've been doing. It comes to the territory. If you do things that people don't like, that people don't agree, they bash you. It's like bashing on steroids, So I hear a lot of negative things during the day. But, I always tell people, I tell people all the time, I'm crazy. Not in a bad way, but in a good way, because I'm crazy enough to think that I am change. Not I am the change, but I am change. I am love. Not I want to be loved, I am love. I am life. So I'm crazy enough to want to turn the TV off. You don't want to be a part and actually get my foot in the water to create change. I'm crazy enough to want to leave out of my house, even though I do got family. A lot of us have families. I'm crazy enough to look past my immediate family into my home and say, this is a greater cause. Because what affects the people out there actually does affect my home. And when I sit here on the couch with the remote in my hand, sit back, eat popcorn or eating whatever it is, and just, talking about, well, this has been going on for a long time, or this don't apply to me, so I don't want to get involved. All those thoughts and those types of thoughts is actually the reason why we don't have the unity that we should have as a people. Because a lot of us as human beings say, I'm going to just focus on me and mine, meaning my family, my house. But the stuff outside of your house affects you, just like the stuff inside of your house. Because easy, just how Mr. Sterling got shot outside, those same bullets, come inside your home. It doesn't make a difference. So, I'm a fan for not just talking, but walking the talk. Walking and talk. Whether or not you think a protest is going to stop racism, that's a different subject, and that is neither here or there. So you got to focus on the good. Focus on the unity. Focus on the part that you got young people coming together when these same young people wasn't coming together. We got to focus on the part that Chris and Bloods are literally uniting. So we got to get away from the criticism, and that's not going to change that overnight. So I don't know why they're doing all that, but neither is, again, you got to play devil's advocate, holding the remote, looking through the station, wondering when they're going to stop rallying, when they're going to stop protesting. That boycott ain't going to work. That's not going to help. That definitely, I'm going to say, if they say, well, we do won't help. But I'm going to say that definitely will not help. That's a definite. You spending your money with corporations, okay? Mm-hmm. That definitely doesn't help. But I promise you, you not spending your money with corporations will help. So you gotta literally, it's easy to do this. To say that looks bad, they're wrong, they're terrorists and all that, that's easy. But remember, you got all those fingers pointing back. So that's something just to think about to all the people who wish they could help or hope they can help or maybe, when I get myself together, I'm going to make, then I'll make a difference. So all those people who just create excuses because they are excuses. If you're not part of the solution, then you're on the other side. It's something that everyone can do. We all know somebody, and it's something that we all can do.
Well, before I get into the meat of this interview, I just want to say this. One of my biggest problems that I actually have people that will say, like for example, when Baton Rouge Mall got shut down early, someone came up to me and said, well, it's on my Facebook page. They said, yeah, but what about the black shops there? Well, Baton Rouge has no black shops in the mall, so you can eliminate that one. But what about the black workers that are out of work? It's like, look, if you're trying, you can come with all excuses as you can. This needed to be done.
And I have heard that, and whoever's watching this video, definitely, no harm intended on the black, African American, brown, colored employees, but anything in life that was, that has created change, it created a resolution. There's always been some sacrifices made. I truly believe when you have a purpose, a mission, and a cause to help our people, even for their employees, I really don't think they're going to be hurt by it. And I'm hoping if they do feel a certain way about it, I really hope they go within and see the why in. There's a why in everything. Because that same employee that might be uncomfortable with it or might feel like their job is affected, they might be able to get a better job because now people that look like me and you are going to be more consistent and have more of a desire to support black business. So now these black businesses are now, they're starting their engines up and now they're taking off. They're going to need more staffing now. So we got to look at things holistically and we got to look at things past today.
See, and that's one thing people don't really understand, but I'm glad that there are people that do that can explain this. Because that makes you, when you have people that actually can help you explain this, you're not in this alone when people ask you these questions. Now, my final question before I get into the subject, what do you think media is doing with our problems going on right now?
Well, I'll tell you, media does what media does best. Media is a form of television that programs the mind. So, media is, you got reality TV, you got all this. It's still the same thing, it's just a different word, media. Media gets a story. When they get the story, the producer goes through the film. I'll show you what this looks like. They go through it, they always film more than enough, but they want to make sure their time is not wasted. So they got more than enough footage. So they go through the footage. You don't like that. No, we're not gonna take her out of there. She's talking, she's bashing the cop. We need to remove that. Okay, now we need to edit it, and actually we need to put that back there. You see when he kicked his leg up, or you see when he had his hand up for 2 seconds, you need to put that right there. So what media does is they take a story and they recreate a different version. And here's what that looks like to all the music lovers out there. If you ever heard of a song and you like that song, and then 2 months later, the remix came out, it sounded different, had some more lyrics in there, and just gave it a different spin, that's what media does. Media remixes the story, and it creates a different version. And it creates a version that this person had a horrible record. They were so violent, they damn near deserved to die. This is the reason why they had their guns out and aiming at them if they wasn't resisting. So media has always been through the record of all the lives that have been lost, but media doesn't go through the person who's on the other side of the gun, which is the police officer. Media doesn't go through the police officer records, and I find that very astonishing because if they did take the time to scrub down their records like they do the people who have died, here's what they're going to see. They're going to see domestic violence in some of these police records. They're going to see where this is not their first time, being, I would say, getting violations, or they're going to see that these police have charges in their background, and that it has always been easy for them to go from one police department to another police department. And a lot of times when police move, it is because they have some type of charge. They have to, let them go, but they can definitely go somewhere else. Because it happens I know it's every day, but it happens a lot in the United States of America. So I bring that up is, for the very reason that there's some double standards. I feel like scrub down a dead person's record, please scrub down the person who is alive, which is the police officer. It's a known fact that some of these police officers that are being racist, they are part of the KKK. I say that boldly. KKK just doesn't walk around with sheets anymore. They don't move like that anymore. They are on our police force. They are our judges. They are our doctors. And they're on these great platforms where they get to hold so much power and they impact our lives on the daily. So that is what I would say in regards to your question.
Man, I told you Nicky Purple was powerful. She has a lot to say, and she's going to have a lot to say next on my Real News show. Yeah, I have some surprises coming from Nicky Purple coming up next. And I'm going to let you know she also took a new job in which I'm happy she's going to be a part of. Next, I'm going to have a chat with author Browder, who has a new release out today.
Looking for a passionate, imaginative night out with your mate? Go on a date. Then release your passion with items from Slim Goodies. With candles, massage oils, and other items setting the mood, Slim Goodies has what your imagination needs at reasonable prices. Fuel that romantic spirit and release your inner passion at Slim Goodies, 6618 West Florissant. Check us out.
Hey, my name is Slim. Come on down to Slim Goodies.
Welcome back to this special 90-minute edition of The Author's Corner. I'm doing a special 90-minute edition because there's so much that we're doing this season. I wanted to give you some of the best and brightest of all the offers that we have. I have a lot of offers that are coming up, and it is just so awesome that these authors have just come and just want to be a part of the show, and they just want you to know about their talents and what's going on in their lives. So, without further ado, one of these brothers is a guy named Browder. Again, just like Nicky Purple, just like Renee, he wears a lot of hats, but he puts family first. He puts his talent and his family in the same place. That is talent, my friend. Now, here's Browder. And I am recording. So welcome to the Office Corner. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. I'm glad to be here.
All right. I always ask every author, is Browder the name you're published under, or do you have a pen name?
That's my government name, and that's also my pen name.
All right. Cool. Well, as always, I like to get started to the beginning. First, I want to congratulate you on your new release. We'll get into that here in just a second. First, I want to know about your journey as far as writing is concerned. What got you interested in writing, and at what age did you start writing?
Well, actually, I started writing at a very, very young age. Probably, I want to say around about 10, 11. Because I got an older brother who's 8 years older than me, and he used to write rap and stuff like that. So, trying to follow him up and be like him, I started trying to dabble myself, but I was never really a lyricist, but I did have an art for putting together a good story.
Okay.
And it kind of started excelling in some of my writing classes in school, and started putting together stories there, and my teachers always wanted me to recite them before the class. So as doing that, I guess that's where the authorship was born.
Okay. All right. And how old did you say you were?
Maybe about 10. Maybe roughly about 10, yeah, around that age.
See, I like that, because I was about 10 when I first started writing. I think 10 is like that median age where everybody just starts getting that creativity down. So what?
Start tapping into your knack for life.
Exactly. Right.
Passionate about it.
Exactly. So what were some of your first pieces that you started writing?
Well, I actually had a children's book that I wrote years ago called The Ostrich and the Emu. And it's one that I still have to this day that I'm considering getting published, but I'm going to have to find a good illustrator to come up with some graphics for me for it. But it's something I would like to share. I think it'd be very good for pre-K age children. But, that's probably one of my earliest pieces I can remember.
Okay. Now, at what point did you decide, hey, I like writing so much, I may want to do this as a career? What made you decide you want to be a published author?
Well, I say probably about 12 years ago. I started, got some free time on my hands, and I started dabbling back into my writing. And in doing so, I also took some creative writing classes. And after taking the classes, they helped me develop myself and really figure out how to formulate and articulate a story the right way. So once I feel I got myself to a certain level, I started reaching out to publishers. And I was rejected by a few, but a few of them showed interest, but I'm a researcher, so I did a lot of research. My research showed me that my book only gonna go as far as my marketing technique. So when I looked at the deals and the packages that someone was presenting to me, I didn't see really much going into marketing, and I knew I didn't really have a flair for marketing myself because it wasn't something that was really natural for me to do. So being just so I decided that I need to just keep writing and try to learn this industry and just learn business as a whole. I want to understand every facet of the business, from accounting, marketing, to promotion, to writing itself, and how to target audiences and things of this nature. So once I felt I got myself to this point, that's what made me decide to go ahead and form Heat Block Publications, which is my publishing company.
Okay. Now, which is actually moving into my next question. What made you decide you want to start publishing or starting a publishing company?
Well, my decision came based on, like I said, like a lot of my experience with the publishers I reached out to, as well as me wanting to have kind of some before the end of the tour, when the dollars went there, I was able to accumulate through my writing, control over the content that I put out here to the public, and things of this nature. That's the only way I can do this is for me to establish my own influence. Publishers have a fixed idea a lot of times about how you think you should go about it. I feel like I have a really unique voice and a way of delivering things. I didn't want anybody tampering with that. So I feel that it was marketable. And I feel that it'd be on me in order to find my niche and fit this market. So I decided to do it myself and should feel my own power.
Tell me some of your other titles.
Well, the other title that I published is called Every Ounce You Got to Give. And it's been very well received. Nothing but 5-star reviews for it. And it's an urban psych thriller. It focuses on a character named St. Matthews. And he's a mental manipulator. And what he does is preys on women who have different weaknesses that he can exploit. And then he gets them to pretty much fully dedicate themselves to him, and then he uses his power over them to start kind of getting them to start doing self-defeating acts like mutilation, and eventually his whole goal is he want them to kill themselves.
Oh, damn.
In order to his honor.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like one of the more darker books that I wrote, but I pretty much, there's people out here that do manipulate people and take advantage of them and stuff like this. I wanted to take that to the furthest extent, and I wanted to pretty much emphasize how ugly it really could get if you don't really know what you're dealing with. So that was my whole aim that I was going for that book. And the character rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but at the same time they said they couldn't put the book down. They loved the book, and they said they opened their eyes up to the different type of people they could be, the type of things they might do. So, if you give insight to somebody, then it did its job.
All right, you brought up a good point, which actually brings up a good follow-up question. See, I love thrillers like that. That's my type of thing. But you said it's not everybody's bag. Well, what do you say about critics that kind of criticize what you write?
Well, somebody criticizes what I write. They're entitled to their opinion. But I will look at the criticism. I don't take it personally because not everything is for everybody, But I would look at the criticism, and if I'm seeing a common thread of something based on different reviews or comments made about my work, I'm gonna try to see what the common thread is, and I'm gonna try to see what are they trying to say. Like they might be saying something like, they didn't feel like I expressed sensitivity or something of that nature. If I keep hearing that, then I'm gonna look at myself and I'm gonna look at the characters I create or the storyline that I done put out here and see what in that storyline did I not convey the way that I was trying to convey it. So, I'm all for open feedback and self-examination because you can't have ego as a writer who's trying to continue progress and get to your highest level. So I would take it with a grain of salt and actually look at it.
Right. So do you feel a lot of authors have ego with their work, and that's why their work don't do very well?
Yes. Not only do I feel it, I know it. It's like a lot of, to be honest, when we put so much time, so many months or years into creating something, and we feel it's a masterpiece, a lot of people incubate that book like a child, So with that being the case, it's like there's nothing you can tell me about this book being good because I know what it is. I'm the one who wrote it, but you can't have that type of ego because you think it's good don't mean it's good to others, So, but to answer the question, yes, I do feel like a lot of them have egos, and not just from a writing standpoint, but also publishers and promoters, and you got to be open to suggestion nowadays if you really want to get somewhere.
Right.
In my opinion.
I understand that. All right. I want to go back for a second because, see, you get on my nerves just like I get on my nerves. In other words, you get on my nerves because you wear a lot of hats. You're an author. You're a publisher. You do so many things like I do. So, what are some of the other hats that you wear?
Well, I'm also the number one hat that I cherish is I'm a father. I'm a father.
Number
I'm a father of 4.
Right.
And I'm a present father, and I take care of my family. And me and my fiance, we work together. And I'm also working the plant. I'm a technician. I fix machines. And that's my day job. It's something I enjoy doing. I like to use my hands, but I love to write. That's been in me since I've been a child. So with that being the case, that's another hat that you say that I wear. And I'm somebody that a lot of people rely on to come to for advice, and because I've pretty much always kind of been focused. I ain't always had all the answers, and never will. Who does?
Right.
I've been focused on somebody you can depend on. So, as far as professionally, I'm an author. I'm a publisher, and I plan on taking on more works pretty soon. I'm looking at a couple different manuscripts and stuff of that nature right now, but I wanted to set the tone with this whole company before I took anything on. So, that's pretty much it. I do my own marketing. I create a lot of my own book trailers and things of that nature, and different promotional materials. And I'm in the book club with Christine Y. Robinson of Zane Presents.
Ooh.
Close affiliate of mine, and bounce ideas back and forth off of each other, and that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
All right. Well, now that I got all the small talk out of the way, you sent me your book cover, and I'm looking at this book cover, and I mean, for your title that's out today, and again, congratulations. The Art of Affliction. Please tell us about the Art of Affliction.
Well, the Art of Affliction. Well, before I go into this, like my mission statement, my company, I like to mix modern day with taboo. I like to bring something different. I don't want to just give you the dope dealing guy or the stripper, reformed stripper. I like to give you something that's totally different than anything that you ever read before. And that's what I did with Every Ounce You Got to Give, and that was my aim with Art of Affliction. But the Art of Affliction focuses on a sculptress named Nadia Stetson. And she is like on a mission to try to acclimate herself out here to the art world and to society. It's like, she's very passionate about what she does, and it's like to a borderline obsession over what she does. And even though she's the main character, there's also two other pivotal characters in the book. You have her best friend and business partner, Gloria Bass. And with Gloria, she's an art lover herself, but her medium is oil on canvas. She's a painter, whereas Nadia does portrait bust sculpture. And with this being the case, her friend is also an art lover, but the difference between her and Nadia is that she's married, and her husband is a civil rights attorney, and he actually funded his wife so she was able to get her own gallery, which is the same gallery, and she in turn allows Nadia to present her work at. And but she started having issues with her marriage, and doing this is like they all kind of tie back into Nadia and her passion. And the third character, who was probably the most controversial character of the whole book, a guy named Daniel Wears. And Daniel is a columnist for Carolina Canvas magazine. And his book focuses around the hometown I live in, which is Columbia, South Carolina. But the magazine is pretty much over both Carolinas because, it's not a very big state, so, they kind of, combine them. So, but he has a vicious reputation because he doesn't feel like the artists in the Carolinas are very well developed or talented, pretty much, so to speak. So he's very rough in his reviews and his criticisms of them, to the point where they call him the Piranha. So he has a lot of issues of his own, and with that being the case, it's like they all tie back into Nadia and the passion she has, and to the point where in this book I kind of wanted to convey, because it could be about sculpture, and sculpture was different for me. Like when I decided to write, I had to do a lot of research for something I wasn't familiar with, but I was able to kind of translate the art, but not overdo it to where somebody who's not totally familiar with art wouldn't be able to grasp the concept. I just wanted to give her, a motivating force, but the whole story is really about passion and obsession, and and that's pretty much what it focuses around. And it can be taken to an extreme or also be used as a source of motivation. So it's upon the individual how they.
My next question is: your title published under your company?
Yes.
So is this like your first? Is this your first piece published under the company?
Yeah, this is my first publishing company.
No, this is your first book under your own publishing company.
That is my second.
Your second. So the first one was
telling you about every ounce you got to give.
Right.
That's also on the Heat Block publication.
All right. So that's cool. Again, so the book comes out today. So where's the book going to be available?
Will it be available on Kindle? It's going to I'm gonna start out as an ebook, and if people want different formats of it, you know, we can go from there. But I'm gonna start out as a Kindle ebook, and it'll be available for $2.99.
All right, cool. So, how does it feel now that you got another book? Because me personally, I'm nervous as hell with every book I bring out. So how are you feeling with the new release?
I'm excited about it because I know that it's going to shock people and pretty much give them something different. And every new release you get, and book you create, as you know, being a writer yourself, you know, it's like a baby. You want to have a baby, and then you want to see the baby grow and flourish. So that's pretty much how I feel about this. So, you know, I've been getting a lot of positive support from my first title, and it's been slowly maturing. So, with that being the case, you know, I like to see if this one can take it to the next level.
Okay. Now, who are some of your favorite authors?
Well, I like Terry McMillan. I like Gary Jerome Dickey. He's pretty good. I like Omar Tyree. And the lady in my book club, Christine Robinson, she's pretty good. I pretty much like anybody who brings something a little different. Like the story don't have to be totally different from what people normally used to, but at least give different concepts and insights. I don't want to read a book that's just like the one I just read. I like to learn something from it. I like to gain something from it. Anybody that can present something like that, I'm open to reading and seeing what they all about.
I'm going to put a question out there that's kind of controversial. You can answer if you don't want to, that's fine.
Okay.
But how do you feel about authors who put books out there, I guess, such and such, in other words, it's the same book, but just different characters. You know what I'm talking about. Right.
Well, I don't knock them, but I think some people go overdo it where they're trying to like oversaturate the market with the same story. Like, I mean, you know, people support it. I guess some people like series where you come in like a TV show, like they see different episodes too. But me personally, that's not my style. I like to complete a book. Like, you know, if I write a book, even if I even write a sequel to it later, I want to stand alone titles that's complete. I want to feel like I don't want to feel like I'm robbing my readers from their precious hard-earned dollars that they spending with me. You know, when I write, I want to get them a complete story. So it's not something for me. It's not something that I would encourage any writer in the future who comes under the imprint. But for the people that do it, I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. So.
Well, see, so again, like you, I'm not knocking anyone's hustle, but it's just more of trying to give them more of a variety.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, somebody who's supporting you, like you don't wrote a book and they sing Title I, they like Title I. I mean, you don't want to pump five of the same type of books out at them. That's not fair to them. I mean, because they support you from the first one, they're going to probably take a chance on buying your next. You want to give them value for their dollar. You know, you might be only talking about a couple dollars at a time, but that couple dollars that can feed somebody. So you got they putting the trust and the faith in you. So with that, you deserve them. I mean, you owe them to present a quality product. Something that's a little different than what you just gave them, you know?
Right. So we talked about your writing, and how you write, but how do you define your style of writing?
Well, I'm somebody who crosses genres, and I don't necessarily write to no set genre, but my style is the same. Like, I think one of my major things is characterization. Like, you know, plots come and go. I try to find original plots, and I normally do because I have crazy imagination. But my main thing is I want to, before I even write a book, I want my characters to be developed the right way. I know characters, strong characters, is what ties people into the book. Because people relate to other people, right? So with that being the case, I want to lay a blueprint out for my character the same way I am. Like pretty much almost include everything except for Social Security now. I want my characters to be very strong. So characterization and probably description of scenes and events is probably one of my biggest identifiable traits as a writer.
Okay. Well, like me, I do the whole characterization thing. If my characters aren't strong, my book isn't strong. So how far do you take? Right. So how far do you take characterization?
Well, I take it very far. Like for instance, with this one, like with this one, The Art of Affliction. Like, okay. I said I want her to be a sculptor. Now, I didn't want to talk about a sculptor in a generic sense because I'm not a sculptor. I'm a writer. You know what I'm saying? But if I want to write about a sculptor, I need to research this. I need for another sculptor in real life to read this book and be able to relate to this woman in a way that you be like, well, that's how it goes. That's how you go about doing this and that and the other. So, I take the research to the next level. I sat here and read books from August, Rhode Island, and things of this nature, so I kind of get a feel for that work. And not just that, but I also start studying the craft. I also talk to people who do sculpture. I wanted to know, the process. I didn't want to be a master at it, but I wanted to have a nice, rough understanding so I could write about a convincing character. You know what I'm saying?
So I got to make sure this stuff is accurate and believable. And even something that simple, you have to research in order for it to be believable when you read it. Because you don't want somebody to read your stuff and say, man, this is a work of BS. Just like you went to sculpting, it's like somebody who's sculpting who wants to read your book and they thinking, this fool knows nothing about sculpting. What the hell? So, yeah.
And I can't have that because I hate to look like a fool.
Right.
Like, if I write something, I want it to be convincing, and I want somebody to read that. I want you not just to read it for entertainment. I want you to be able to transfer yourself into that world and put yourself in it.
Right.
In order for me to expect that of a reader, I gotta give that as a writer.
Right. So, like I say, it's always about the research. It's always got to be about the characters. Because, see, another thing with the characters, too, the characters have to be believable. I tell people all the time, you can have the strongest plots, you can have the strongest settings, but if your characters aren't believable, nobody's going to read it. Because they're not going to, you might as well be writing fantasy, for real.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I take it so deep myself. That I wanted to even to the point where if I say the character is like, I say the character of Leo. I want the character to have Leo traits. I want a person that is a Leo to read this book and be like, well, that is how Leos are. Leos, they do things this way, that way. So I take characterization to the next level. I want it to be complete. I want it to be complete to everything. If I say if the person has any type of aspect of it, I want to be able to translate it. And somebody who does that for real, it to be believable to them because, I try to give them whatever it was that they were looking for. That's pretty much the process I go through. I try to do research and really develop my character.
Okay.
The characters carry a story.
Right. What do you like to do for fun when you're not writing?
Well, when I'm not writing, I work a lot. But when I'm not writing or working, I like to do things for my family. My family is the most important thing to me. I lost my mother in January. God rest her soul. I lost her to brain cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
My woman stepped right up, and she been there for me. My fiance and our 4 kids. So with that being the case, everything that I do, like, we like to do a lot of different things. We like to go out of town and go to the beach and do anything that we can think of. We both spontaneous people, and the kids just go along with the flow. But no matter what I end up doing, I want my family to be the focal point of it. Because that's the most important thing too. And losing my mama, you know, that pretty much let me know the realness of that. So that's like the most important thing to me.
Well, my condolences to you, my brother. I know what this means. I just lost my grandmother earlier this year, so I truly understand. I'm glad my mom's still alive, but yet, like I say, I'm keeping her here as much as I can, so I truly understand.
I say that too.
Thank you very much. So you talk about family. You say your fiance is very supportive. And see, me personally, I feel that everyone, including your significant other, has got to be supportive if this is going to work. So I'm going to say, how supportive is she in your work?
Yeah, well, you know, my mama, she's very supportive. Like, you know, at first, you know, she was a little hard for her to understand a little bit because, you know, as far as the life of a writer, and not just a writer, but a self-publisher, it's like, sometimes you got to go hard at this thing. You know what I mean? If you want people to know who you are, you got to give it maximum effort. Sometimes that maximum effort might take away from some of the things that y'all might have did or had planned. You know, it's not gonna go like it used to go, especially at the onset of it. But she's been very supportive, and not just her, but her family. You know, they rallied around me, and they pretty much kind of been very influential as far as getting certain people at the beginning to start looking at me and giving me a chance as a writer. But she also has a talent in graphic design, so I'm trying to get her to go ahead and come on into the business. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I couldn't ask for nothing much better, so I'm grateful.
I truly understand that. I truly do. So now that your book is out, do you have any events coming up for it?
Well, yeah, I have a author feature with Mona. I don't have the full details there, but we just started talking about that yesterday. But I will share that on my Facebook page.
Okay.
And I can be reached at Stephen Browder, or you know, I can be reached at my website. We get into the contact information later or whatnot. But yeah, I have a feature. I also have a radio segment with Polo Don coming up.
Oh.
Once again, details are hazy, so I don't have anything concrete to share. All I can do is suggest people to start following me, and I'll keep them posted that way.
Okay. All right. Well, the next question is actually you just went into my next question. How do people get to know you? How can people contact you? How can people keep up with you?
Well, like I said, I can be reached on Facebook, or they come to my website at http://StephenJBrowder.wordpress.com.
Okay.
They can subscribe and become a part of the blog. You know, we talk about different interesting issues, and I'm trying to build up that platform more. And you also can catch me on Twitter at Browder_Stephen. Follow me on Instagram at Stephen Browder.
Okay.
So you know, I'm pretty much trying to tap into all social media. Or they also find me on Goodreads.
Oh.
I try to tap into all different avenues and become, you know, very easily accessible. And if they follow the website, well, fully strongly suggest they'll be able to be fully informed in all information.
All right.
That I have.
All right. Cool. So now my next question to you is, what's in the future for you?
Well, I have another book that I'm going to put out probably in another month or two. I guess I don't know the exact timetable, but it's ready. I have many works ready already. And like I said, I've been, even though I just came out with the publishing company not long ago, I've been writing for years. So I wanted to fully develop myself. So they can be looking forward to my next release. And like I said, I'm vetting a couple writers right now, and possibly other works under Heat Block Publications.
All right.
So also, they can just go to the page, my like fan page on Facebook, and Heat Block Publications to subscribe. That way, they get a full roundabout look at everything that's going on with the company, because it's growing. It's a process, but it's growing very rapidly. You know, I've got to be bringing more people in pretty soon, and just to handle different things, because you know, time is precious.
No.
But yeah, I do have another release coming up called Secrets of a Dead Man's Past.
Ooh.
That'll be being released probably, I want to say, September sometime.
That means I'll be interviewing you again. Which is no problem.
As much as you want.
Oh, you good. So you do have new releases coming up soon, so that's very good. That's very good.
I'm gonna keep them coming.
You keep me informed.
I'm not gonna be a one-hit wonder. I'm gonna keep bringing them.
Oh, that's fine. Like I say, I can interview you as many times as you need me to. I'm good. So we good, brother.
You got a pretty good rapport. I like it.
Thank you very much. So now for my final question, I usually give my authors the final word. Do you have any advice for any new writers out there, for anybody who wants to go into publishing? Whatever you want to talk about, the floor is yours.
Well, my advice would be the advice that I had to learn a little bit through trial and error for myself. That if you're going to get into this industry, first off, you need to kind of take time to develop yourself. I mean, anybody can just jot stories on paper, but what separate writers from people who are aspiring to be is the preparation and the time that it takes to develop yourself. So you know, learn how to develop characters, learn how to build plot, learn how to put storylines together, chapter outlines, things of this nature, so that when you put a story together, it comes together cohesive. You don't just want a whole bunch of jumbled mess on paper. But you know, there's gonna be trials and errors, and you're gonna even when you come out, you're gonna have to continue to grow and see where you went wrong and see how can you expand on that. But I think that's definitely a good start. And also, you want to learn this industry because from what I've seen, you could be the best writer in the world, but it doesn't matter if nobody don't know who you are. So you also need to learn some type of form of promotion and marketing for yourself. Because and that even go for the ones who decide to go to the publishing company. You don't want to just leave your fate as an author in somebody else's hands. You took the time to write this. You also take some time to promote it. You also take some time to raise awareness of it. So that what my advice would be.
Okay. Well, with that, I want to thank you. Thank you for coming to the Author Corner, and thank you for talking about your book.
Thank you for having me, brother. And like I said, come join the movement, y'all. Flip Block Publications, taking this industry one brick at a time.
And when we come back, I'll have a final word.
What happens when a man sentenced to be executed disappears from his cell hours before? Investigative reporter Mark Alexander must find the answers. Read H.D. Campbell's new masterpiece, Murder by Execution. In stores and at Amazon now.
This is part of the show where I give you my 2 cents on the literary world and what's going on. I just completed my 7th book, Murder by Execution. It's the 3rd in the Mark Alexander series. It's about a man who disappears on death row just hours before his execution. Then it comes to find out he may or may not be innocent upon his escape. Now, it took me a minute to write that book, a very hot minute. But it taught me a few lessons that I try to teach new writers coming out. A lot of new writers are hesitant to write because they worry about things like grammar and mechanical things the first time. No, you should worry on the story, focus on the story first. If you focus on the story, that way you don't have to worry about grammar. The grammar's going to be messed up anyway. Grammar always comes last. Finish the story first, then get it right the next time. Because if you worry about mechanical things, you'll never get it done. And I've seen so many authors never get the work done. So, number 1, write. Tell your story. Number 2, revise. That's where you get an editor. That's where you look at it yourself. That's where you have someone else, a certified editor. You do not let your cousin who doesn't have no editing experience look at it, because they're going to go one or two ways. They're going to look at it and say it's terrible because the grammar's messed up, or they're going to be like, it's good because they like everything you do. They're not going to give you an honest review. Some might, some wouldn't. But finally, make sure it's 100% right before you send it off. I've seen too many people send off material that's not 100% right, and when you get the reviews, see, I'd much rather have a bad story review than a review that says the book has too many mechanical mistakes. I mean, seriously, I'd rather you say my book is terrible as opposed to that saying, well, H.D. Campbell has way too many mistakes. But that's my take. Next week on my show, I'm going to have Gerald R. Johnson and Vincent DeRuyter. Stay tuned for that next week. And this has been the Office Corner. Peace, hair grease, and as always, let your writing fuel your spirit, and God bless.